my clean, my cleaning lady, she's awesome. She's Romanian. She barely speaks a word of English, but we have I think, a genuine friendship. It's one of physical sign language.
Right.
But I really think we get on.
Yes.
But she sometimes makes hard decisions about my life without consulting me.
Right.
I went to Spain a few years ago and I had some paella. And then obviously I indulged in some fanciful idea that I was going to cook paella for my friends.
Right.
As if I have my friends around the house. Never mind cook paella.
Yeah, which is a big dish to
Madness.
cook. Yeah.
Oh, so I bought a paella dish, and I mean, can we swear on this?
Yeah, of course you can.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like a satellite dish.
Yeah.
And I managed just about to get it into the big drawer. But
how did you get it back from Spain?
Oh, I bought it in England.
Oh, phew, right.
Yeah. I came back.
I was going to say, yeah.
I came back.
This country's great.
I came back with wild ideas of Spanish cookery. I don't even like Spanish food. I don't even like paella. I just like the idea of the fanciful notion of friends sitting around a table and me presenting a big thing with prawns and bubbling rice and everyone going, oh, God, Greg's, he's not just a one-dimensional comic. He's
please.
Got this whole hinterland of Spanish cookery.
He's the Pied Piper of paella.
Exactly. the treble P. Anyway, so I bought this giant pan. I had to empty the big drawer to get it in and then put stuff back on it, right? Anyway, obviously months, maybe even years passed, maybe 2 years passed.
Yeah.
And then I was having some mates round. And normally when my mates come round, we just get drunk like we're teenagers. And I thought, I'm going to make a paella. So I went to the big drawer. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right? And for it to have gone, loads of pans would have had to have been removed. Yeah. And the paella dish removed. And there's nowhere else for it to go in the flat. So I have a quick look round. Nothing. Anyway, my cleaning lady comes back in. I don't think she'd mind me saying this. Her name's Chi-Chi.
Okay.
She comes in on the allotted day, and I go, all right, Chi-Chi. She goes, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Well, no, she doesn't speak English. She doesn't.
Right.
We just make noises at each other.
Yeah.
That's not me insulting the Romanians.
No, but yeah.
She went,
all right.
Yeah. And I went, are you all right? And she went, yeah. And I went, you haven't seen my paella pan, have you? And she went, eh? and so I went to the big drawer and I opened it and I pointed and I mimed the big paella pan. And she suddenly realised and she went, yeah. And I went, oh, where is it? And she pointed at my bin and she went, Irabi. And I went, you threw it away? And she went, yeah. And I love her so much. I get on so well with her and she does such a beautiful job for me.
Yeah.
I just went, okay.
Yeah.
That was it. End of my paella cooking career.
But do you have like a world out there that you'd miss? Do you have like kind of friends?
All my mates there are my English mates who I've forced to move over with me and move into my house.
Okay, commune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cult,
commune.
/commune.
That.
Who's to say?
How about a live reality show where we, the audience, have to figure out whether or not you're a cult leader?
That sounds fantastic.
And then you just hang out with your mates and away. Can you imagine that? Imagine if you convinced a network to do a show where it was just you and your mates hanging out and you just...
Isn't that the Kardashians?
Yeah, I guess it is. But they're told what to say. I'm on about you.
Yeah, we know that's a cult.
You're hoodwinking You're hoodwinking the world into thinking that something malevolent's going on, but it's just you.
It's just me hanging out with my mates.
Closest I get to cocaine is I'll have an espresso martini with tequila, not coffee.
Ooh.
I would strongly recommend.
Yeah.
Like one of those, like 7 in the evening, if you've had a long day and you're doing something social in the evening and you go, wow, I'm exhausted. I want to be in bed, really. One of those.
What are you calling that?
Huh?
It's an espresso martini with, have you given it a name?
4 a.m. anxiety is the unofficial name. I'd like some anxiety about 4 a.m., please. I'd like to feel super relaxed for the next sort of 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then I would like all the anxiety to come crashing in.
Yeah.
What?
My brother had 8 of those once, espresso martinis.
Has he slept since?
No, in Dubai, and he had the temerity to blame his guts the next morning on a bad bit of sushi.
Yeah.
But
wow.
8
it was
shots.
I think it was the espresso martini. It's apparently invented at the Groucho in
Really?
London. It was, I think it was, well, legend has it was Kate Moss that came in from the Red Eye from New York and said, I need something to wake me up and fuck me up. And the old bartender there, who's no longer with us, sadly, rustled up one of those. And that was kind of the, so, I mean, it's really an Irish coffee, I suppose, but it's like the reinvention of it and the coffee beans on top and the whole thing.
So a big thing for disabled people was transport.
Yeah.
There was no way for wheelchair users to get onto buses. So what they did, hundreds of them, just went to Westminster Bridge and just rolled out in front of all the buses, stopped all the traffic, chained themselves to buses, and the police, the photos are amazing because the police are clearly shitting themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, how do we deal with
Yeah,
this?
but that, particularly when you take into account the police, that is the ultimate PC nightmare. That you kind of go, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I am a PC.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine some of the conversations?
Yeah.
Can you please?
Yeah.
Do you want to? You can like. I do. I bet so many police officers quit that day. They're like, I don't know what to say.
The reason why it's the holy month is because that during Ramadan is when the Quran came down to the people through the Prophet, peace be upon him. And so what the rules are, you don't eat from, you can't eat or drink from sunrise, crack of dawn, to sunset. So it's the crack of dawn, which is, the crack of dawn is like 2-3 hours before dawn.
Wow.
So it's when you see the first sliver of light in the sky, that's when you need to stop.
Right.
And then you break your fast at sundown.
And can I ask you a question? When you're younger, before you're used to this, are you smashing as much food into yourself before the crack?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
you do, yeah.
I was going to say, when you're like, if you're a 13-year-old, you must be like, right, where's the crack?
Yeah, like having it, like, because we're breaking our fast, we call it iftar.
Iftar.
And then like
you break it with a date, is that right?
Yeah, a date and milk.
Yeah.
And or if you don't have that, then it has to be something that's not cooked
Right.
or like man-made, like for example, like water or juice.
Yeah.
Or so, just something that's not cooked. Just break your fast with that, and then you can eat whatever you want after that.
Right.
So yeah, when I was younger, we used to do that, like have like 10 Mars bars, and my mum's like, you are an animal. You learn nothing from this month.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. So and then as you get older, it's different. You start to realize, like even now when I break my fast, I'm very slow, like eating out. We make this soup, it's called harira.
Yeah.
And it's got like 30 things in it. It's got like chickpeas, meat, eggs, spaghetti, lentils, all this stuff, loads of stuff in it. And that for me, I have to have it every day during Ramadan. Like otherwise, I don't feel like I'm doing Ramadan.
But I wonder if that's like a slow release as well. That
Yes.
You've got lots of different. You've got proteins and
Yes.
nutrients, and it
Yes.
just helps your body go through it.
Got the email and I read the email from beginning to end. My first thought was halloumi.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not connected with my family in any way.
Doesn't matter. What,
I don't have a Greek Cypriot father.
but the whole point of this is what are the things that you love in life. So what is it about halloumi?
It's always a treat. I could eat it every day and it would feel like the first time I'm eating it.
And you're having that over brie, you're having that over goat's cheese.
Oh, every single time. Also, like things like brie and goat's cheese, that they feel quite heavy. They're weighing me down. They feel fattier somehow than halloumi. They feel like a bit decadent.
Yeah.
Whereas halloumi, that's a solid lunch.
And halloumi it's a sturdy cheese. You can take a battering.
Oh my God,
you can do all sorts to that, and you can still serve it.
You know those adverts you get sometimes for like phone cases where it's normally some posh guy throwing a phone in the air. You could do that with halloumi.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a case.
Yeah, halloumi is the Muhammad Ali of cheeses.
Yeah.
It can absolutely rope a dope and still comes out and wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the only cheeses you can stick on the barbecue.
Yeah, and a bit like sort of crispy fried duck, it strikes me as one of those cheeses you can have shit halloumi and good halloumi, and it still tastes like halloumi.
Absolutely, it's still bringing what it needs to.
Tell me about the mug.
I think this really shows what I'm
because I
talking
love
about.
this story.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this really shows what I'm talking about, which is so. One of the bleakest things you'll ever have to do. I don't know if I don't think you've had to do this, but I'm afraid will have to do it. Is like clearing out your parents' house after one of them's died. I mean, actually, we weren't completely clearing out because my dad was still living there, but we were trying to sort through some of my mum's stuff. And my mum was a hoarder and had loads of stuff, and most of it was golf based or whatever. And we're wondering what to do with it and all the rest of it. And it's really grim. And my mum died very suddenly and quite violently, a massive sort of like what I think in fact was a drug overdose because she was taking far too many different painkillers and whatever. Right. And it was terrible. Anyway, we're there, me and my brothers, and my younger brother suddenly comes up to me and he hands me something. I couldn't see what it was at first. He says, "I found this in the cupboard. I was going to smash it," he said. "I was going to smash it, but you might want it." And I looked at it. It was a mug. And on the mug was a picture of my mother's lover.
Right.
At the back of the thing, she had a mug printed with a picture of David White. And what I particularly loved about it was that he was on both sides. Yeah. He was on both sides of that mug, just stealed away at the bottom of the cupboard. So I thought, I know what to do with this. So I didn't tell my older brother that we'd found it. And then about an hour later, there's a call for a cup of tea to deal with the sort of sadness of this moment. And I just hand him his tea in that mug. And he pissed himself laughing. I mean, really laughed and laughed.